I never wanted to do group therapy, right? I didn't want to tell like a group what was going on, afraid that other people wouldn't understand what I was going through, right?
Part of being a first responder is you have to be able to compartmentalize or you wouldn't be able to function. And I think that's some of the problems we have. We put it away and we don't deal with it.
We took an oath to help people, help the city, help the organization, and lastly, help ourselves.
Doing this line of work and seeing everything that we see causes damage to us. We don't always see that damage because we're always gearing up to head out for the next one. So we just tuck it away and don't deal with it. You've shoved too much into that closet, and at some point that closet door breaks. I am one that had the closet door break.
Sometimes first responders just need a pause. This career throws so much at them, and to keep up, you can end up with a system that's just kind of bulldozing and starting to run on empty. And that's where our relationship with R3 is so exciting. To be able to refer our first responders to a program where they can just step away for a moment, let everything kind of just calm down, be in a different space, be around others who get what they're talking about.
Whenever you start having communication with others that are like you, that have had similar experiences, all of that is healing. No matter how tough you think you are, everybody has a breaking point.
Because the first responder experience is so unique, I think that's why peer-led healing journey interactions are so important, because the first responder knows that they don't have to spend all this time explaining to someone who doesn't truly understand what they do.
Some guys, they have no idea what you mean by you see death every day.
These men that I've seen up here on this mountain, they're dealing with the same traumatic events, but on a day-to-day basis. And it's just during an 8-hour shift. And once they get done with their 8-hour shift, they have to just take it home.
You know, I think this is no surprise these days, but suicide kills more firefighters and police officers than line of duty death does.
If an officer came to me and just said, "Hey, I heard about this, can you explain it?" I'd say, before I explain it, let me just ask him questions. Have you gone to training before? Well, yeah. Have you taken, whether it be control tactics, firearms, maybe some leadership courses? Yeah, I've done that. This is the same thing. This is just training and development to help us be better versions of ourselves, be better first responders. That affects us at home, that affects us here.
My job as a chief is to make sure all communities across all of Fort Worth are safe, healthy, and resilient. But for that to happen, I first have to make sure my department, my officers, are safe, healthy, and resilient. And if they're not taken care of, how can I expect them to take care of anyone else?
There's a real fear that comes from mental illness or mental health trauma, PTSD, of what if I'm not healthy enough to do my job, I'm gonna stay silent. And this takes that stigma away, and having your leaders and both chiefs tell you it is okay to not be okay, and that we're gonna make sure we have a program of support for wellness to get you back to 100% means the world.
Unfortunately, some great departments across the country have had some real issues with not just mental illness and resiliency, but with suicide. My ultimate goal is to never have that happen here.
We could head off a problem before it started rather than trying to get in on the backside of the problem, where it's a lot harder to deal with.
You could take out the people aspect of it and look at it from a fiduciary standpoint. It's smart business. Your community aspect, it's smart business because you're taking care of your people. We take care of people. That's what policing does. That's what fire does. That's what EMS does.
Not only is R3 providing resiliency programs, but should something come up during that program or that experience, an officer realizes, hey, this really helped, but I think I need something else, R3 provides access to officers in an anonymous format and way to culturally competent counselors.
Nobody's going to use it once and then never come back again. We've got to get a program in place that is ready to grow with that. As soon as you start being available and offering all this stuff up, man, you better be ready, because the phone will ring off the hook.
I am fully confident that not only does this model work, but it's something that our first responders are telling us works, and they are very proud to spread the word.
I see people who come back and they seem healed. They seem like they're well. They seem like they're optimistic rather than pessimistic about everything.
There's not been a police and fire synergistic approach to wellness ever in Fort Worth, and I would be surprised if there's been something like that countrywide.
We want wellness to be a priority, a skill that is trained throughout the entire career and then prepping them for retirement and that transition.
This may end up being the most monumental public-private partnership of all, and it'll be quiet behind the scenes to really support those individuals that help be heroes in our community and make sure that Fort Worth continues to strive and grow into the future.